Hello from the Bad Influence Christmas special. You might like to have a pen and paper ready because later on this afternoon we'll run down the best places to buy your Christmas goodies. Obviously, we've gone to a lot of trouble to make the studio look as Christmassy as possible. With the Bad Influence Christmas tree, we've got funky tinsel, we've got baubles, we've got birds, and of course, real reindeer.
Very Christmassy, Andy, but I think the live reindeer might be slightly over the top. We've got all the usual stuff as well, including a review of extreme games on the PlayStation.
And I'll be reporting from Tokyo, joining in the celebrations for National Games Day.
But first, 'tis nearly the season to be jolly, and that means Christmas cards. This year, though, instead of sending, mind yourself, Bob, sending the standard boring ones, I'm going to send ones I've designed on a new bit of software called Card Studio. It comes with some finished examples to get you going, from funny cards like this one to more serious ones like this. The best thing about designing your own cards, though, is the chance to be original. This is the card I've nearly finished. I've taken a picture of our Bad Influence studio and imported it in. I've also added one or two bits and pieces, but now I've got to add, well, Bob the reindeer, obviously, and what about Father Christmas? So we'll go to the art book. There are lots and lots of pictures to choose from. Anything from angels to presents, and reindeer. Now, let's see which one looks most like Bob. I think this one myself, so we'll select that one. Now we need Father Christmas, and if we close the book, the reindeer and the Father Christmas we've selected will return to my card. Okay, that's looking good. Now, what about a bit of tinsel? Well, you can draw freehand in this package as well, and I'll put some down here on the front of the set. And what about some on Bob's antlers? Terrific. Now we need a message for inside the card. Well, I've already put one in that says Merry Christmas, Sonia, love from Andy, and for the finishing touch on the back, you can even add a barcode. And so you can see it more clearly, I'll enlarge it to the full size of the card. There, now you can see it says, including minimum of 10% post-consumer fibre and 40% fake barcode. So now all I have to do is click on print, and the computer does the rest.
But why not cut out the middleman and send a completely electronic Christmas card? This software is called Animated Greetings, and it lets you send a colourful interactive screen to someone. The lucky person who gets the card has to complete a simple task to get their Christmas message. In this one, you have to successfully match hidden pairs. In this one, you have to clean windows. Now, I'm just finishing off a card for Andy by adding a voice message. I'm going to record that right now. Hi, Andy. Now I can preview the card. Now, in order for Andy to get his Christmas message, he first of all has to colour in the card, which I'm going to very quickly and very roughly do. And once you've finished the card, you can send it either by email or on floppy disk to the computer nerd in your life. Hi, Andy.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Sonia. I hope you like the card. It took me hours to make.
Oh, thank you. Here's yours.
Oh. Our main review this week is Extreme Games on the PlayStation. It's a racing bash-em-up along the same lines as Road Rash, where you ride a choice of mountain bike, rollerblades, a skateboard or street luge, a sort of one-person sledge on wheels. The aim is to get through gates to collect money and finish in first place using skill or underhand violence. But is Extreme Games on the right track? Here's Sahale.
Don't be fooled into thinking this is just slick graphics. It's definitely got the gameplay to back it up. Overall, this is a really fast-moving game and there's no glitches at all. It's not just straightforward racing, which is good. You have to pass through different coloured gates and negotiate jumps. And an important part of the gameplay is that you have to play dirty. You can push your opponents off the track, and with practice and precision timing, you can knock them into obstacles which are dotted around the track. The gates you go through in the game give you different things. The yellow gates give you season points, and the green gates give you cash which you can spend later on. There are secret tunnels hidden away on the edge of tracks, and they're quite difficult to get into. But once you are in them, they offer you shortcuts to the end of the level so you can catch up valuable places. And also, there's extra gates for you to go through to get extra money and extra season points. You can forget about Road Rash and Skitching. Here you've got the best of both worlds, and it's done 100 times better.
This is excellent. I love the choice of racing equipment and that you can bash people off the track.
It's a good Road Rash clone with lots of detail, but it's just too slow.
And the scores for Extreme Games, both the boys and the girls agree. It's a road racing, bike bashing, gate grabbing 4. So, a good score there for Extreme Games. And in America, you can get an unusual skateboard controller for the game that goes faster when you press forward, slower when you press back, and even jumps when you stamp on it.
Believe me, it's harder to use than it looks. Time now for our globe-trotting reporter, who this week is in Tokyo finding out how Japanese gamers spend their day off. Oh, I'm sorry. Bob! Bob, I've told you before, no reindeer behind the video screen.
We all know that in Japan, everyone works hard all the time. But today, a bank holiday. It's called Kinro Kansha Nohi, which means Labour Thanksgiving Day. Yes, it's a holiday to celebrate work. But I've come to an area of Tokyo called Shibuya. And here, instead of celebrating work, they're going to celebrate video games. Tokyo's game players are serious beat-em-up fans, and as part of the festivities, they're holding a costume competition featuring characters from top fighting games. Everyone has their favourite character. There's Ray Ray from Vampire Hunter, King from Tekken, and from King of the Fighters, Iori. I've met up with Seiko, who's promised to explain what's happening, and I think I'm going to need her help. Seiko took me to one of the biggest arcades in Shibuya to try out Tokyo's top games, and it's a 3D beat-em-ups that are fighting it out for the top slot. Virtua Fighter 2 has been around for a while, and it's still popular, but it's not the champion. Take a look at this, Tekken 2. Just released in Japan and already king of the beat-em-ups. This sequel has taken the crown from Virtua Fighter 2 with its repertoire of highly acrobatic special moves. But hold those fearsome fists, here comes a new challenger. Officially launched on this auspicious National Games Day is the Fighting Vipers. He managed to get one over on the opposition by installing a variety of different barriers around the ring, which does make a huge difference to the gameplay. The fences mean you don't get ring out, but if you crash your opponent against the barriers a few times, you make a big dent in their energy bar. There's an interesting variety of cool characters, including this lead guitarist, who adopts the Keith Richards approach to crowd control. But believe it or not, this is currently the most popular arcade machine in Japan. I like Punch. I quite like the punching one. It's not a game, it's a photo booth that lets you choose a pretty frame for your picture.
1, 2, 3.
The photos are then printed out as a sheet of stickers. Excellent. Why are they so popular?
You know, people like stickers, and you can put on the name card and anything.
What should we do with these then? So, all you do is stick them on books or on this print club board. Seiko and I are now officially members of the print club. Meanwhile, back on stage, our Japanese Keith Chegwin was announcing the next event. I didn't quite catch that. Good, my Japanese is improving. That translates as charity auction. The producer wanted me to bid for one of the posters, but not to spend more than 2,000 yen, which is about £13. 10,000. Wow. I'll get the next thing. 3,000. So they're 3,000. And I bid 3,000 yen for 2 green crocodiles. I better get some money now. Bye everyone. Thanks, Keith. Well, the game's playing is going on late into the night, but I've had a brilliant day. Thanks a lot, Seiko. Oh, well done. You know, I think we should have at least several National Games Days back in the UK. This is Violet Berlin reporting for Bad Influence in Tokyo.
Violet did accidentally end up bidding for martial law from Tekken after all, and gave it to me as a Christmas present.
Look at you.
What did you get?
Oh, well, no, I'm better than that. I got this brilliant CD with all the music from Tekken 2, you see. Now, obviously, I don't know what all the tracks are, because most of them are in Japanese, but there's definitely martial law, and there's King as well. But this is my favourite. This is the most excellent Fighter Select. Fantastic, eh?
Yeah. Now it's time for this week's news and previews.
Mustachioed plumber Mario is returning to the SNES, but this time something is different. The Super Mario role-playing game, or RPG for short, places our hero in an isometric 3D world, which he must explore in order to find and rescue the long-suffering Princess Daisy. It should be out next summer.
Why mess around with train sets this Christmas when you can play with a whole transport empire? Transport Tycoon Deluxe is a revamped version of the classic Transport Tycoon, where you build and control fleets of trains, ships and planes in a bid to become seriously rich. Transport Tycoon Deluxe should be in the shops now.
The latest game to be dressed up in high-tech graphics is the royal and ancient sport of golf. Actua Golf on PlayStation features motion-captured sprites, accurate 3D scenery and a variety of surprisingly useful camera views. Actua Golf should be released next year.
And now for some more of this week's games releases reviewed by our expert panel.
The coolest sprite in history struts his funky stuff onto the Mega Drive and SNES this week in Spot Goes to Hollywood. Spot is thrown into the backlot of a movie studio where he solves puzzles, collects red spots, and all the while avoids the movie world's greatest baddies. This one's a sort of Terminator Spot. The game is also out on PlayStation and Saturn in early '96, but for now, here's Sally with the Mega Drive version.
This is a major improvement on the first one. It's been updated to make it more exciting, and the further you get into the game, the better it becomes. This is a haunted house level, presumably based on Ghostbusters. The game's really hard to control. It feels like the D-pad's reversed. The enemies, you can't shoot them from behind, you've got to face them, and it takes a lot of ammunition to kill them. There's a variety of levels, so there's something for everyone. This is the Indiana Jones level, which is very different from the other levels. You collect as many things as you can, and there are no bad guys to kill, which makes it a refreshing change. The name says it all. This is a cool game.
It may have a novel viewpoint for a platform game, but apart from that, there's nothing new at all.
For the first 5 minutes, this is quite a good game, but the gameplay is repetitive and it soon bored me.
The scores for Spot Goes to Hollywood, not a blockbuster I'm afraid, average 3s all round.
Victory Boxing is a new boxing beat-em-up for the Saturn. There's not a special move in sight, so strategy will prevail where slugging will fail. You can choose your fighter from a list of 11 or custom build your own. Either way, you have to beat 30 tough opponents to win the World Championship. Will it go the distance? Here's Ben the Basher.
Initially, this game seemed slow and boring, but after getting a few wins under my belt, I became a total addict. You've only got the basic moves at first. More powerful punching combinations like these only become available as you win more fights. As the champion, you not only win a shiny belt, but you can also access hidden characters like a boxing kangaroo, a chrome cyborg and many others. Unfortunately, these can only be used in 2-player mode. If you're feeling confident, you can even tease and taunt your opponent. After persevering with the first few fights, I really enjoyed it. It's the most realistic boxing game I've ever played.
All the elements of this game are very atmospheric. The only problem is it's a little slow.
It's a superb alternative to your average beat-em-up. And the scores for Victory Boxing, a heavyweight 4 from the boys, but a middleweight 3 from the girls.
TV presenters don't come more polished than the one you're looking at now. I didn't write that bit, but if TV bigwigs get their way, human presenters could soon become a thing of the past. It's no secret that computer graphics have taken over the film world, but it's one thing generating a Jurassic dinosaur, entirely another to create an accurate computer-generated human being. The most human-looking computer-generated character so far was probably the entirely inhuman T-1000 from the movie Terminator 2. Actor Robert Patrick had to suffer for his art. He had a grid felt tipped on his body and was then filmed from lots of different angles. The results were used to generate a 3D computer model of his body that could be animated at will. Film graphics like those require very expensive, very powerful supercomputers, but now there's a system available that lets you animate characters in real time. First you have to scan your character into the computer, anything from, I don't know, a reindeer to an alien like this created with computer graphics. But then the animation is all done, as Sonia is finding out, with spots.
Oh, yes, indeedy. These are reflective spots that can be detected by the headset. And as I move my eyes or my mouth, the movements are recorded into the computers. Now, we're going to need to bring the lights down so you can actually see the screen properly. Now, if you look in the screen, you can see the points, as I said, marked by the reflective spots on my face. And as I'm moving, so are they. So, for instance, that point there is my chin. My lips are here. These are my cheekbones. And those very uneven things up there are actually my eyebrows. So here's me as a megalomaniac alien. And if you add the right tape with the voice that you want, the effect can be quite convincing.
I won't stop until I control the whole universe.
Whoa, whoa, you can stop that there. You controlling the whole universe is a bit scary. Back here in the real world, well, almost. It's time for the last virtual violet of the year with our top 10 games of 95.
At number 10 in my personal chart, it's Rapid Reload on the PlayStation, an old-style 2D shooter that laughs in the face of the 3D gaming revolution. Haha. Grinning away at number 9, it's Kid Clown in Crazy Chase, an interactive obstacle course on the SNES. Number 8 fuels my passion for bikes and brain teasers, Full Throttle on PC/CD. It looks dull, and if you play it, you'll become dull. But Mario's Picross makes its number 7 because it's more addictive than Tetris. Get out your tennis rackets and your virtual picks and strum along to my number 6. It's Quest for Fame on PC/CD, a pop-star-style jam-em-up for the musically challenged. At number 5, Uni Rally on the SNES. It's totally unique. Well, if you know of any other sideways scrolling stunt unicycle race games, just let me know. Those gormless green-head rodents get a look in at number 4 in 3D Lemmings. Once you get your head around the camera angles, it's superb. And now, the top 3. At number 3, the most fun I've ever had wandering around a bizarre land with an army of talking animals, Soleil on the Mega Drive. Taking over the world at number 2, Command & Conquer on PC/CD. The perfect blend of action, strategy, presentation and distraction. And for the big number 1, it's Yoshi's Island on the SNES. Okay, I cheated a bit. It's not actually out in the UK just yet, but I bought it in Japan when I was over there filming for Bad Influence. It's absolutely fantastic, and I haven't been able to put it down since. See?
Hey, Bob, is it cold out there?
Now, Christmas is traditionally a time of gathering around a glowing TV, joypad in hand, making merry with your favourite video games. So in order to assist with your electronic festivities, we've come up with a Bad Influence guide to the best places to get your Yuletide consoles.
If you're hoping for, or lucky enough to be expecting, a super console, tell Santa the best place to get a PlayStation with one joypad and a demo disc is Toys R Us, who sell it for £287.99, £12 cheaper than anywhere else. The Saturn is £299 in most stores, but Game offer a special pack featuring Victory Goal, Daytona USA and an extra pad for £379, a saving of £35 on buying the game separately. And if you're looking to trade up, Electronics Boutique, the new name for Future Zone, will give you £100 off either Super Console if you trade in a Mega Drive or SNES with 10 games.
But remember, there's a lot of life left in the SNES and Mega Drive. Each can be found bundled with lots of games this Christmas. The best SNES offer we found is at Argos, packaged with Super Metroid and 4 Mario games for $94.99. Or if you're a Mario addict, Dixon sell it with all 5 of his classic platform adventures for $99.99. At Electronics Boutique, the Mega Drive comes with 6 games, including the classic Golden Axe and Collins for $89.99, while Games sell it without any software for $54.99.
For more Christmas console bargains, check out the Bad Influence Worldwide website. The address comes up at the end of the programme. Now, we've no competition this week because it's the last show before Christmas, but last week's competition was for a Saturn and 46 games. Some now, some next year when they're released. The competition question, how many moons orbit the planet Saturn? The answer is 17, and if this is your name on the screen now, congratulations, you're a Bad Influence winner.
10 runners-up get Bad Influence Bad Crew t-shirts, and your names are running across the screen now.
Just before we go, a date for your diary, 20 to 5 on Tuesday the 2nd of January is the time for the Bad Influence Review of the Year. Join us, we'll have celebrity game reviewers, bands in the studio, and even computerised jugglers.
We'll see you then. Have a lovely Christmas.
Have a nice Christmas. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I grant you one wish for Christmas. I want to be back in civilization.